You're with Matchday on BBC Radio Suffolk with Ipswich Town in the capital for our main feature this afternoon. Let's join our commentary team at Loftus Road. Former Town captain Mick Mills is back alongside Brenna Woolley.
So here we are into November with Town still looking for their first away win of the season. What are the chances of it coming here this afternoon then at one of the division's most atmospheric grounds? Well, after a slow start, QPR have kicked on and look set for a better season than they've become accustomed to in recent years. Under their new boss, Julien Stéphan, a relative unknown on these shores, they've won 5 and drawn 2 of their last 9 as the Frenchman's methods appear to be bedding in nicely. As for Town, well, as we all know, they're yet to catch light on the road, taking just 2 points from their 4 away fixtures so far and only scoring once from open play. The sooner they get this particular monkey off their back, the better, especially when you consider they're about to start a run this afternoon of 5 away matches in their next 7. And Mick, I know the usual mantra is win your home games and draw your away games and it'll be up there, so there's no need to panic over the lack of a victory on the road, but it would be nice to get one sooner rather than later, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. I mean, we haven't really been truly tested when you think that we're in November and we've only played 4 league away games. You know, as you say, we've hardly been tested out. 2 of those 4 have been draws, so that's pretty good. We've only actually lost 2 out of the 4, so you know, but we've got to get, you know, some wins on the board really, and it's as simple as that. You know, we mustn't sort of be where we leave a lot of points behind in the first half of the season. I think that's always interesting when you do get to half time, and we all know roughly where you have to be. If you want to contest the top 2, you've got to be talking in terms of maybe 45 points from that sort of period, and certainly the playoff positions are around about sort of 37, if you like. So you know, we've got to really start striving to get to that first part. Most of all is if when we get to the halfway stage, we've got to have for something like a minimum of 37 points, really, just to make the second half of the season not too difficult, because there's no question it's the second half of the season which puts you under pressure. The first half of the season doesn't. You know, you have nerves about playing, you have tension, all sorts of things, but you know that you can make a few mistakes in the first half of the season. The second half is totally different. You know, you have to lessen the amount of mistakes you make to get where you want to be. So, you know, this is the time that we've got to make some sort of leeway towards the top 6.
This game is going to kick off a little bit late. I was just waiting to see the teams come out of the tunnel opposite. Finally, they are, just 3 minutes before 3 o'clock, so I would imagine probably going to kick off about 5 past. Town on 16 points after 11 games so far. 4 wins, 4 draws, and the 3 defeats, trying to avoid a 3rd defeat in 4 here this afternoon. Ipswich Town in their all-red kit up against the traditional blue and white hoops of QPR with white shorts and white socks. The home team. Well, just the one change that's been forced upon Kieran McKenna here in West London. Sam Schmodik's out for a few weeks, having had surgery. Marcelino Nunez preferred in the number 10 role ahead of maybe Clark or Kayuste, Eggley, other potential candidates, Akpom as well on the bench. So Walton once again in goal. His back 4, former QPR player Furlong, O'Shea the captain, Kipre and Davis. There's Matusiwa alongside Taylor. Then the 3 of Eggley, Nunez and Philogene. And up front, Hurst, no Athon on the bench. We'll ask Kieran McKenna about the Spaniard post-match. On the bench there we have Button, Young, Kayuste, Johnson, McAteer, Greaves, Akpom, Clark and Cameron Humphreys back involved. Made a couple of championship appearances earlier on this season, but we haven't seen him since Southampton at home, the first home game of the campaign. 4 changes made by Julien Stéphan, the recently appointed manager of Queen's Park Rangers. Out go Mbenge, Varane, Norrington Davis and Sato from the side that lost 1-0 to Derby. In come Morrison, Esquadinha, Hayden and Chair. Nardi is their goalkeeper. They play the same system as Ipswich Town. The back 4 is Dunn, Morrison, Cook and Esquadinha. Then it's Hayden and Madsen will sit in midfield. An attacking 3 of Vale, Chair and Kone play in behind Burrell. On the bench, Hamer's a very experienced goalkeeper, and Mbenge, Norrington Davis, Field, Varane, Smith, Poku, he was a big money signing from Peterborough in the summer. Kwame Poku hasn't featured since the opening day of the season. That's a big boost to have him back available to the home team. Sato and Frey. What do you make of the decision to bring in Nunez for Smodics? There were other competitors, I guess, Mick.
Yeah, I think we've all got sort of what we might sort of like to see tried and tested, you know, but it's a sensible one, really, because we are away from home. It is best to be a little bit tighter away from home than you would be at home. So, you know, the problem we have had in this season so far is the little bit of protection that we need for our back four. You know, in the previous 2 or 3 years, we've had some natural players playing in front of the back four that didn't really shift very much, you know. So that made us very, very tight, and you just feel that Jack Taylor joining Matasuwa last week tightened things up, and I think that Nunez sort of joining that too, he will more naturally try to work with Matasuwa and Taylor than automatically go and link up with George Hurst. It will be his job to link up with George Hurst whenever possible, but he will also look to join in with those two, the double pivot.
Been heavy rain in West London in the last 10 minutes or so, but seems to have cleared up as we belatedly get this 3 o'clock kickoff underway on BBC Radio Suffolk. Actually, just a minute past 3. It wasn't as late as I expected the start to be. Town in red, defending the end off to our left-hand side. Christian Walton in front of the Ipswich Town fans, who understand just get the upper tier of the standoff to our left-hand side. They used to get the whole thing. I think once upon a time they got 3,000 tickets for this fixture, but plenty packed into the upper tier as Nunez, the number 32, with a back header, finds Taylor, thoroughly deserving of his place in the side again. Did very well last week, Taylor. It's only his 16th league start for Ipswich Town. He's come on as a sub 57 times, Taylor. Eggerly's done well to Nunez. Good break this from Ipswich Town. Loose touch though from the Chilean. In goes the experienced Cook, and his left-footed clearance ends up in the Ipswich Town half. Dara O'Shea goes square to Kipre. Very narrow pitch this. I saw Kieran McKenna pacing it out earlier on, as he always does. Distances between the edge of the box to the touchline, from the D to the centre circle and so on. Very methodical. Every little detail counts with Kieran. Eggerly, good move down the right-hand side, takes on his man, gets the byline in the air. Great from him. In comes the chip, headed towards goal, and in! It's Hurst with a brilliant header low into the corner of the net. Fantastic wing play from Eggerly down the right-hand side, created it, and the perfect floated ball into the middle, which Hurst glances down into the corner of the net. And inside 1 minute 20 seconds, Ipswich Town lead at QPR.
Yeah, what a beautiful start, and that's on 2 occasions. We hardly had a sort of any time at all, and Esquadina, the left back for QPR, has really sort of laid the gauntlet down. He's almost twice then sort of said to Eggerly, "What are you all about? I'm just going to see how quick you are." The first time Eggerly picked the ball up, he went zooming off on the inside and knitted a few things together. Then the ball comes to him down the right, and the left back again opens himself up and says, "Come on then, let's see how quick you are down the side." Eggerly said, "Thank you very much for the invitation, I'm off." And he went, got himself some space. Beautiful cross, beautiful header, beautiful start.
Lovely work down that right-hand side from Eggerly, and the perfect cross as well for Hurst. Best start Ipswich Town could have wished for. And all those boys and girls off to our left applauding. That's where all the noise is coming from. Ipswich Town 1-0 up at QPR, and goals home and away against QPR have been very scarce in recent seasons. That Chaplin goal the last time we were here, the 1-0 win, was the only time Town scored against QPR in their last 5 home and away. Town only with 1 win in the last 7 anywhere against the Hoops, but it started very well here this afternoon. Here's Walton clearing the ball up towards Nunez. Nunez heads it on, whereas he could have let it go to Hurst if they'd communicated between themselves. Morrison, the Scotsman, back to his keeper Nardi in slate grey off to our right-hand side. The touch down from Coney, but there's an offside against QPR. Flags up far side next to the dugouts, and it's a free kick which the captain O'Shea takes for Ipswich Town, diagonally out to the left-hand side, over the top of Philogene, headed away by the right back Dunn. They're quite a tall side, QPR, up towards the halfway line. Burrell tries to get involved for the first time. He was a summer arrival from Burton. Done well enough so far with 3 goals, Burrell. Here come QPR inside the Ipswich area, but the ball is guided back by O'Shea, or at least shepherded back by O'Shea to his goalkeeper Walton.
Yeah, talking about height, it was Dunn that caught my eye when they were tossing the coin up. He absolutely towered above Dara O'Shea. He must be the tallest fullback of all time.
On the halfway line, QPR have it. The ball rolled forward to the number 10 Chair. Madsen as well in midfield. Is meant to be 6'4". Oh, mistake at the back almost by QPR. He has been a bit wobbly of late, Nardi. It's been first choice for all of last season and the start of this, Nardi, but recently it's been a little bit shaky. If you're just joining us on BBC Radio Suffolk, you've missed a fine goal from Ipswich Town. Inside the first 2 minutes, George Hurst heading in, but all of the players went to celebrate with Sindra Eggerly for his involvement in the only goal that we've seen so far. Here is the tallest fullback ever, Dunn with a throw down the fast. You're sticking to that, aren't you?
He's got the longest throw ever as well.
No, record's been broken left, right and centre on the halfway line.
The best right foot ever.
Yeah, Colroy Castle. Here come QPR for the first time. It's a lively game. Wide on the right-hand side. In slides Davis. He's done well to get the ball to Philogene. Philogene passes it forward, but it's blocked off by a QPR player. In goes Taylor. Nunez with a header on, looking to get Hurst in behind, but covering at the back is Morrison. Albeit the Scottish came from Bayern Munich and actually joined them at 16, Liam Morrison. He's one of the changes QPR have made. Lovely play from Dunn. Dunn then hangs it forward. Town should sort things out. They all left it for one another. Eventually Walton grasps it on the edge of his area.
Yeah, they've sort of settled down now, Queen's Park Rangers. They will be absolutely gutted that they conceded so early. It was a terrific move by Town. It's got us into a lovely position, a relaxed position, really.
Kipre given away by him. Here is Madsen, the Dane in midfield. Chair, the number 10, who I think is drifting across to the left-hand side with Kone actually playing in behind Burrell early doors. On the left wing, it's Esquadinha, the Brazilian teenager. In comes his cross to the Ipswich area, headed away well by Davis. QPR get it back through Dunn. Once again, Morrison gives it to Cook, promoted in the past with a couple of clubs. Cook. Here is Chair. He's a danger man, the number 10. Such a good footballer, the Moroccan. Slips it to the edge of the area, placed towards goal, but straight down the throat of Christian Walton.
Play some nice football. That was good play by Queen's Park Rangers. They knew exactly what direction they wanted to go in. They were just pinging the ball about amongst each other and then had pretty much a free shot from the edge of the box.
Ball out on the far side into the lower tier. It's a sellout here this afternoon, this game at Loftus Road. Holds about 18,500. Very compact ground, this one. Kipre at the back for Ipswich Town. Goes square to O'Shea. O'Shea diagonally to Eggerly, the number 8 on the halfway line. It's going to be a good battle, him up against Esquadinha by the looks of things. Two 19-year-olds. Getting a bird's eye view of this in the first half. Matusiwa goes back to Walton. Walton passes it out quickly to O'Shea. Town 1-0 up live on BBC Radio Suffolk thanks to this man, Hurst. Hurst controls it on his thighs to Nunez. Way too much on that from Nunez. And mentioning Nunez, a 2-0 defeat for his former club Norwich at home to Hull earlier on. That's 6 defeats in a row for the Canaries. All 6 home games this season have ended up in losses for them. Dunn with a throw, belted forward by Hayden, but it breaks to Hurst. Square is Nunez inside the area. Nunez gets underneath it. It wasn't the pass that he wanted from Hurst. Town still on the front foot with Eggerly. Eggerly comes in field, left-footed, has a go. It's not far, it's worth it. He's on song this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a nice effort, it really was. That was, it's sort of raised up. The direction was good. It was just a little bit too high, but it had the necessary pace. It was decent, sort of, it was going into the right area. Just the height was wrong, but he's lively.
Yeah, he is.
He's finding a bit of room out on this side, and I would imagine the left back is a little bit wary of him now.
He's the man to watch at the moment out there in red. Good strong header by O'Shea. Lifted forward for QPR. It's going to bounce away from Burrell. Nothing he can do with it. It's a throw for Town just front of the left back area. Nunez in for Smodix, the one change from West Brom, if you weren't with us in the first hour of match day this afternoon. Town with a home game against Watford on Tuesday night, and then we're at Swansea in a week's time. Town's final game before the final international break of the calendar year. Headed forward on the halfway line by Esquadinha, preferred to Norrington Davis, who has been doing pretty well, I think, for QPR of late. A little bit of strength in the left-back area. Infield from Vale, former Chelsea player. Doesn't reach a hooked shirt. Egley finds Nunez. No, not quite. Esquadinha goes in there and boots it out near side away from Nunez. Furlong with a throw for Ipswich Town. 72 appearances, having come through the academy here at Loftus Road. Darnell Furlong, of course his dad played here for a fair number of years. O'Shea to Egley in front of us, gives it back to Furlong. 1-0 the away side as O'Shea has the ball on the edge of the Ipswich area, goes along the white line to Kipre, out to the far side. Davis down the line finds Philogene nudged from behind by Dunn.
You know, just looking at Nunez, and he's definitely sort of trying to play really close to Hurst, you know, so he's really sort of taking the number 10 role, as you probably would do if you don't know too much about it. You're playing more forward than close to the double pivot of the midfield.
QPR trying to win the ball in midfield. Tang get it back. Well done. Nunez finds Jack Taylor. Change of direction from the Irishman out to the left hand side for Philogene. Philogene stretches, just keeps it in, goes back to Davis. Infield quickly to Taylor. Taylor flicks it forward to Davis. Lovely play from Town down the left. Davis inside the QPR area, goes square, blocked off by the first defender. Nice work from Town down the left. Town get it back. Matthew Seawer to Davis inside the area. Nunez loses the ball. QPR get it away, blocked off by Kipre. Town building pressure inside the QPR half of the field. Well done Kipre. To the left, Leif Davis has it. Gets support from Philogene on his right foot. Gives it back to O'Shea. 21 players and a half off to our right. Kipre measures the ball into the box to Philogene. Lovely play. Philogene goes around the last defender, dinks it into the centre. Pad down by Nardi. Really good stuff from Town.
Yeah, very good, but unfortunately for Philogene, he's got to the byline. He's trying to stand it up. He didn't get the stand-up ball right, but had he have done so, there were more Queen's Park Rangers players taking up good defensive positions than Town forwards. We only had 2 in the box, so he didn't have a lot of assistance.
It's watchable games. Good stuff being played by Ipswich Town. There is Taylor. Goes back to Kipre. Now with Dara O'Shea finding Taylor again on the half turn, just south of the centre circle. Gives it to Nunez. Nunez looks up, jinks in field, gets away from Madsen, then loses the ball. Eventually gets through to Hurst. Town got the rub of the green. Egley on the right wing made the first goal, the only goal we've seen so far. Hurst with a header. Now it's with O'Shea and those orange boots of his. The captain just goes square to Furlong. Furlong down the line to Egley. Too heavy a touch from the Norwegian. Hayden, promoted from this division with Newcastle, joined QPR after a loan in the summer when his contract at St James's Park was up, back in London where he came through at Arsenal. Decent player, Hayden. It's a bit of strength to that midfield. Defensive solidity. Morrison to Cook. Cook away from Chair near side, cheaply given away by QPR.
Yeah, they're making a few mistakes. They're a footballing side. They want to play a passing game, but they're making a few silly little errors, and it is beginning to sort of irritate the crowd. So everything at the moment's going Town's way and making life a little bit easier than what it might have been. We're in front 1-0, and the home team are not as fluent as the crowd want.
Tall pass from Furlong. QPR have it on the left-hand side from the throw, which was given away by Furlong, but now Chair can't link up with Esquadinha, and it's out for a throw into Ipswich at right back. Let's go back to Graham.
Millwall ahead at Oxford, Stoke 1, Bristol City 0, and Birmingham City have the lead at home to Portsmouth.
Millwall having a good season. Last night, excellent win for Wrexham, coming from behind to beat leaders Coventry. Coventry's first defeat of the season. That was a Kiefer Moore hat-trick. As I said, Norwich lost at lunchtime, and Blackburn won 2-0 at Leicester. Good point for Sheffield Wednesday in a draw at West Brom. Philogene to Egley. Egley puts it over the top to no one, bar the goalkeeper Nardi way out of his area. Cook wants of Bournemouth and of Nottingham Forest, I say, promoted to the Premier League with both of those clubs. Here he is. Cook took a risk against Nunez. Nunez has blocked him off. Well done from the Chilean. And he's played the ball off Cook for a throw-in. Cook took way too long to release that pass forward, and Town have benefited with an attacking throw-in.
Yeah, it's just another one of those silly little errors that they've been making sort of since the game started. You know, they looked a confident team, but there's errors in their team at the moment.
Town scored inside the first 80 seconds of this match. Now they're trying to double their advantage in the 14th minute. Furlong with the throw-in, which now comes into the QPR area towards the penalty spot, headed away by a hook defender, Matusiwa, who played under the QPR boss for Rennes. Given away by Ipswich Town. QPR get forward, but not with the ball, because in steps Leif Davis. Excellent covering, sprinted pretty much the width of the park to get there ahead of Burrell and guide the ball back safely to Christian Walton.
Yeah, it's good play by the left back, it really is. He's sort of very aware that the break's coming down his opposite side. It's a dangerous break, but he's got himself across really well and showed good pace to get to the ball as well.
Hurst on a chase far side. If you want with us for the teams area, no Ivan Athon this afternoon on the Ipswich Town bench. Cameron Humphreys is there, of course no Smodics either. We'll see what Town boss Kieran McKenna says post-match about the Spaniards' chances of featuring as Watford on Tuesday. That'll be live on Match Night on BBC Radio Suffolk. Egley wins a good header on the halfway line. Hayden fought QPR, shoved in the back by Philogene. Free kick on the halfway line to Queen's Park Rangers. Can see there be more goals in this game, albeit I'm happy to tempt fate by saying that. If there isn't, excellent, happy days. But it's fairly open. Here is a Chair, just back after an injury for QPR. Was only on the bench last week, but does tend to be their main man when he's available in starting games. Chair with a free kick on the halfway line. Town with a fairly high line. The Moroccan just wipes his nose, takes a step back 4 or 5 yards. From to Kieran McKenna, far side. He goes square, gets the ball back. It's been wasted so far. Crowds start to moan and groan. Chair in behind. The keeper Walton goes to the feet of Burrell. QPR wasted that set piece.
Oh, what a crazy set play. It was sort of like a 30-yard square ball from Chair, who was going to take the free kick, to the left back this side. I couldn't understand it.
Walton, edge of his area, gives it out to Taylor. Town playing it around at the back. A few heart flutters there when that happened, but Town have played it well. O'Shea to Nunez, down in front of us. He goes back to his skipper. Kipre backpedals far side, makes himself available. So too Matusiwa, the Dutchman, with a switcher play out to the far side, and Philogene. Poor touch from Philogene. Basic stuff. He should have been able to control that ball. It's out of play.
Yeah, without question. I mean, it was only sort of just thigh high, really. Just a side foot control was all that was needed. He had nobody really close to him. It was a decent ball from Matusiwa.
Mick Mills alongside me at Loftus Road this afternoon, as he will be on Tuesday night, watching Town leading at QPR. Kieran McKenna song starting to ring around the away fans. Done for QPR, goes back to Morrison. Morrison forward to Madsen. Played against Liverpool in the Champions League a couple of seasons ago, Madsen for Midtjylland. Here is Esquadinha. Back to Madsen, dropping in between the two centre-halves. Morrison up to halfway for QPR. Taking it on the turn is Vale. Knocked over the top by Dunn towards Burrell. Cushion header down from O'Shea, safe as houses. Back to Walton. Walton gives it to Matusiwa, who picks out Nunez on halfway. He's held on to the ball, the Chilean. Hurst making something of a run. Nunez floats it out to the far side. And Davis in front of the QPR manager. Taylor goes back to Kipre. Town still ahead as O'Shea with the yellow ball now, of course, that we're into November. He gives it to Kipre. Kipre looked forward along the floor, finds Davis. It's promising for Ipswich Town, picking out red shirt after red shirt. Now Taylor goes for a crossfield switch, gets Egley involved. Egley brings it down, turns, faces goal, dinks it into the area for Nunez. Nunez is going after this one, but it'll be shielded out behind, goal kick.
No, it wasn't on that pass, really. You know, he should have just ignored it. He saw the little position that Nunez had taken up, but too difficult a pass to get it to him. He should have just changed his mind.
QPR played it out from the back. Cook happy to hit it further forward. Kept in by Cher. Cher's got the ball down the left-hand side, got the better of Furlong. O'Shea didn't know whether to stick or twist. Cher has the ball coming in field. Crossfield goes into the area towards Vale, headed away well by Leif Davis. Doing some good defensive work so far, the Geordie, in this game, and he was fouled there for a kick.
Yeah, a little bit of a break there. You know, I just have a feeling that Queen's Park Rangers, if they could just get a little bit tidier with their passing, they might be half a decent side. But at the moment, they're struggling to really get any real fluency, and it's Town that are really sort of in charge of the game. That helped the fact they got the early goal, but generally speaking, defensively look sound and are causing a bit of a threat at the other end.
Morrison gets the better of Hurst, but Morrison's header finds Nunez, so it's all ended up well in the end for Ipswich Town, who have the ball with Davis to Taylor. Taylor playing with such confidence back towards Kipre. O'Shea closed down by Coney. The ball breaks to Cher. Cher coming forward, trying to cause problems for Town. Gives it to Coney, the former Wickham player, eased off the ball by O'Shea, who was just too strong. Coney was a bit lightweight. Oh, Eggerly, lovely play, nutmegs his man Escudinha onto the halfway line. Tries a switch of play, but Dunn will get there. Ahead of Philogene, got the ball jammed between his legs, almost allowed it to go through to Philogene when he should never have had any problems dealing with that. Vale, former England youth captain, looked a good signing in the summer, former Chelsea player. Hayden, crossfield to Cher, takes it on his chest. QPR looking for the equaliser after 20 minutes. Cher shoots, saved by Walton, tapped in. Not good goalkeeping on first inspection, and it's Burrell who gets his fourth goal of the season, and approaching the midway point of this first half. Stephen Stevens, QPR 1, Ipswich Town 1.
Yeah, they've worked the play down the left-hand side, and they've been comfortable with it. They have plenty of room to work it and plenty of room to run. And then when he started to come across the pitch with the ball, there was a little bit of space there. The shot was a decent one, but you've got to say Christian Walton has been at fault with it. He's got to, if he doesn't feel that he can sort of keep hold of the ball in any sort of way, then just guide it with your hand around the post for a corner kick. Do not allow the ball to come back into play. That's what he did, and the actual follow-up and tap-in was an easy part of the whole thing. But we've allowed the play to be, we're a little bit loose down this our right-hand side, gave them too much room, and Christian has really got to do better than that.
Yeah, he does. I thought that was an error from the goalkeeper, and Burrell couldn't miss. Done well so far since coming in the summer. 11 goals and 26 starts last season for Burton, but not a player I'd heard of before. Birmingham lad, started at Grimsby, had a little spell, joined Middlesbrough when he was 19, didn't work out there, but QPR have seen something in him, and that's not a bad return at this stage of the season. Can't imagine he's had any easier finishes than the previous three. Walton then goes long, so Town have got to do it all again.
Yeah, we mustn't get frustrated. I mean, looking at Christian Walton, that's an awful long ball to play forward. It's had, the forwards have got absolutely no chance on that, so he obviously is feeling very frustrated about his mistake, which led to the equaliser. He's got to settle down, and the team need to settle down. All they've done is conceded a goal, and it's gone back to 1-1. You know, you should not allow that to affect you.
Given away by Kone, onto it as Nunez. Can he feed Eggerly? The answer is yes, on the right-hand side, outside the QPR area. The Town number 8 has it. Kone comes back and makes an important challenge. Out for an Ipswich Town throw. Town playing in all red from left to right in the first half here at Loftus Road, as we do reach the midway point of this first half. Furlong with a through to Eggerly. Eggerly zips in this left-footed cross. It's a really good ball as well. It's out the far side there for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a dangerous ball, in as much that the two defenders that it was going in the direction of didn't really quite know whether to head the ball out of the box or let it go, and in the end they were a bit confused. There was no Town player in the area who could get on the end of it, so basically it's a poor cross, because any cross has got to at least give one of your teammates a chance to get on the end of it, and that cross did not.
It's their 11th successive season at this level. They've become championship stalwarts, QPR. in the preceding 10 seasons ahead of this. Never finished higher than 9th. That was in 2021. They've been slightly looking over their shoulders in recent seasons. Never been involved in a serious relegation battle, but they've always just hovered just above those bottom 3 spots. Cook up towards Vale. Yet to see too much of him in an attacking sense. Vale back towards Dunn. Dunn in field and gives it to Madsen. Madsen to the right-hand side now. Vale on the ball once again. Chance to left-footed cross into the Ipswich town area. Furlong has to deal with it. Heads it square inside the box. Kone goes towards it, but thankfully so too Kipre. It's out behind QPR, appealing for the first corner kick of the afternoon, but the referee's pointing to the edge of Christian Walton's 6-yard box.
Corner kicks are a dangerous thing in football, but if you have to give away a corner kick, you give it away. That's 2 examples where the goalkeeper doesn't parry the ball around the post, and it cost us the equalising goal. And on that occasion, Darnell Furlong doesn't want to give away a corner, so instead of doing that, he heads the ball back into the 6-yard box and causes all sorts of problems. You know, just give a corner away. You can defend a corner with 11 players.
Yeah, back yourselves to deal with the set piece. Here comes Esquadinha near side. 1-1 at Loftus Road, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. As Kone goes after him. He's a strong looking boy, the number 22 Kone. Flipped by Matusiwa, back to Walton. Walton takes it on his right thigh, closed down by Burrell. It's out on the far side for a throw. Different atmosphere here since QPR have equalised and Walton's looked a bit jittery.
Well, that's one of those decisions he's got to make there. He doesn't know what the referee's interpretation of that will be. Is it a back pass? Isn't it a back pass? He's done the right thing. He's decided, I don't know, so I've got to control it and kick it.
Davis a throw, nodded down by Hurst, out of play. It was Hurst who gave Town the lead after 80 seconds, but Burrell equalised on 21 minutes for QPR. It's a decent game of football as well. Done with a throw for the home side, headed away by Davis, nodded down by Hayden, kicked long by Nunez. Cook checks in and around him and then heads it back comfortably to Nardi. Nardi in the D off to our right-hand side. Rain seems to have stopped at Loftus Road. Nardi with a floated ball forward, headed by Dunn, picked up by Burrell, the QPR goal scorer, gives it back to Dunn. One touch to Vale on this far side. They play some nice stuff, QPR, got some decent footballers. Vale shaped across, takes on Davis, eventually gets the ball. An excellent wing play by Vale, spilled by Walton, cleared out by Furlong. Off to our left-hand side for a corner kick to QPR. He's having a tough time at the moment, Walton.
Yeah, they've done well down the right-hand side there. He got slightly the better of Leif Davis, not much, but enough to get a cross in. And then the Walton Furlong little partnership there, you know, didn't really liaise properly on that and caused a bit of a problem.
Incredibly, it's only his 2nd championship start for Ipswich Town. Last week being his first, Christian Walt. It's remarkable, isn't it? Corner kick to QPR, the first for either side in this championship match in the 27th minute. In it comes from Chair, headed away by O'Shea, controlled by Vale, backs himself to shoot from there, which he did, but it swung away from Walton's left post.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Graham.
Middlesbrough trailing 1-0 at Watford. Stoke 3 up now at home to Bristol City inside half an hour.
Wow, goodness me, that's been some start. 27 exactly played in West London. 1-1. Walton gives it out short to Matusiwa. The Dutchman left in steps, gives it back to Kipre. Davis to Nunez. Town have worked it up nicely to the halfway line. Nunez still has the ball. Little drag back, gets the better of Vale. Gives it to Matusiwa. Excellent play from Nunez. Matusiwa weaves in between a couple of home players. Given away by Davis, but controlled out of play on the far side by Vale. In front of the tunnel opposite. Leif Davis with a throw for Ipswich Town. Matusiwa back with Cedric Kipre. One of those who I guess might make way for Jacob Greaves. We're expecting changes on Tuesday night from Ipswich Town's perspective. It'd be a massive surprise if there aren't any. Walton goes long, trying to get Philogene in behind. Philogene, has he won a corner kick? No, not quite. When he flicked it back off Dunn, the ball had already gone dead. He's ended up in a heap in amongst some photographers off to our right-hand side. Philogene, and looks to be in a bit of distress.
Yeah, well, that's the danger when you have these sort of pitches where the terracing is very, very close to the actual playing surface, but nobody's at fault there. Maybe the goalkeeper, Christian Morton, has hit it a little bit long. It was a real sort of chase for Philogene to even keep it in play, you know, so the keeper he's gone too long, really.
A couple of members of the Ipswich Town medical staff checking on Jayden Philogene. So too, I think it's Casey McAteer, Jens Kayuste and Cameron Humphreys also having a little look at him as Hurst goes down, I think just to sort out his footwear. As there's lots of players not involved in the game, having a drinks break on the far side as Nardi completely in a world of his own, tried to get the play back underway.
6 of the home team having a drink, and the goalkeeper decides to start the play and come down the left-hand side. Not really quite the thing to do.
Totally in a world of his own. Hurst still tying up his bootlaces, play back underway as QPR are entitled to do. 10 down to 10 men, ball over the top for Kone to chase, can't get a toenail on it as he tried to. The ball through to Walton. Philogene incidentally back up on his feet, looks to be okay.
Yeah, they've gone long over the top, down the centre quite often, right from the start of the game. So it's obviously something they are pretty good at. It hasn't really come off yet, but they've tried it many, many times.
Lovely control from Nunez in the middle third, now running up through the centre circle for Ipswich Town. Left-footed, gives it to Davis. Oh, terrible touch from Davis. Wasted. Out for another throw-in on the far side to Queen's Park Rangers, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. 25 minutes played in Ipswich Town's 12th championship game of the season. As I was saying earlier on, 5 of this run of 7 are away from home. Treating next Saturday at Swansea. Chair forward to Burrell, the goal scorer. Kipre comes across and takes charge of that situation and bangs the ball high up into the sky. Madsen gets there ahead of Hurst. Taylor, though, nips in before Vale can do anything with the ball. Philogene back on the field and involved. Get to see him really involved overly in this game, however. Philogene yet to get the better of Dunn one-on-one. O'Shea to Kipre, so that pretty much tells you that Ipswich Town have the ball at the back in the final 15 minutes of this first half. Taylor gliding up to halfway, gets away from Kone, checks square to Davis. Back it goes to Cedric Kipre. Slowed right down this one. Sam Allison, incidentally, the referee, took charge of Town against Southampton and Manchester City when he was a Premier League official last season, tending to do EFL games this time around. Dara O'Shea looking for an option at the back, goes square to Furlong on this near side. Furlong, woeful pass, straight to Esquadinha. Awful control from him, thankfully. Tanavit back on the halfway line with Matusiwa, picking at Eggley. Lovely touch from Eggley. Number 8 holding off his man. In slides the challenge from behind by Hayden. Got the ball, says the referee. He was in a good position. Excellent challenge, therefore, by Hayden. As Eggley just seemed to be getting away from QPR midfielders and into shooting range. Nunez wins the ball on the far side over Vale. Davis brought down by a lunging challenge from Vale, showing a bit of frustration there. Free kick to Ipswich Town and a yellow card. First one of the afternoon for Harvey Vale.
Yeah, it's getting really sort of scrappy. Both teams really sort of very, very untidy. You know, it's you know, both teams trying to play, but they haven't really got to the top of their game at the moment.
Ipswich Town with a free kick wide left. Leif Davis over it on the far side of Loftus Road. Town have got, 6 players inside the QPR area, off to our right hand side. Furlong's in there, O'Shea, Hurst, Kipre, Taylor, Eggley. Just outside at Philogene and Nunez. Can Ipswich Town retake the lead with 12.5 minutes of this first half to go? It's 1-1 at Loftus Road. Davis with this free kick, looks a really good one, headed away by Morrison, nodded on by Esquadinha, out at left back outside the QPR area for a throw into Ipswich Town, which Furlong's highly likely to take. Good. Let's go back to Graham.
Derby 1 up at Sheffield United. Watford now 2 up at home to Middlesbrough.
Wow, interesting to see what Watford are like on Tuesday night at Portman Road. Furlong readying himself for this hopefully long, dangerous throw into the QPR area. Forward he comes, long one into the box, headed away by Morrison. Shot from O'Shea from an acute angle. As it deflected out of play for a corner. No, not quite. It's for a throw-in next to the corner flag, which again Furlong is going to be taken when he goes and retrieves the dry ball.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball well today, Furlong. It's getting good sort of pace on the ball to start with, and actually he's getting it long into the heart of the QPR penalty area.
So much talk in the Premier League about long throws being back. Here is Furlong with a throw for Ipswich Town into the QPR box. Hasn't been dealt with just yet by the hoops. Nunez involved. Now Burrell, edge of the area, tries to clear it. Egley wins it for Ipswich Town, and Red shifts it to the right in O'Shea. O'Shea with a cross into the centre, headed by Hurst, but this one off target under pressure. It's come off its marker. Town have won a corner.
Yeah, nice little bit of pressure, really. It's all down to the fact that Queen's Park Rangers can't get that decent header on the ball to get it way outside their penalty area. They're all sort of half clearances, really. So we're able to put the pressure on.
11 minutes to go until half time. Town trying to turn the screw. Davis with a corner kick for Ipswich Town, left-footed, and it comes palmed away by Nardi, still alive inside the area. Shot from Philogene, who got underneath it, but has skied it.
Oh, he had a chance there. That was a good chance. That again, it wasn't a headed clearance, but it was a half punch by the goalkeeper, and it's fallen 2 yards inside the penalty area for Philogene to sort of, hit on the volley. And we know he could strike them well, but he didn't really get that one right at all. That should have hit the target.
Yeah, he's probably the one player in red out there you'd want that chance to drop to, given his technique and the way he's been scoring goals so far this season. Level on 5 now with Jack Clark, as Nardi takes this goal kick for QPR, who've drawn level in this game 1-1 with 10 minutes of the first half to go. There's a head collision which has seen Dara O'Shea end up on the deck, and immediately the referee's done the right thing, halted play. Well, the Ipswich Town captain's in a bit of trouble, as again yet medical staff have been called for on the far side. O'Shea less than impressed by that challenge. I don't think they're going to be needed though, the medical staff, that is. Wants a word with Richard Coney for that challenge, does Sam Allison. No more than that. Be a free kick to Ipswich Town. O'Shea, you would expect, up on his feet pretty quickly. Coney is briefly apologised as he walks past the Irishman. And we're about to resume play with Christian Walton jogging to get a replacement ball. George Hurst just having a word with his captain as well. So it's Hurst and then Burrell, the two strikers, or the two players playing in the number 9 positions who've got the 2 goals so far. Kipré, the free kick for Ipswich Town, thought about going forward, thought about going square. In the end he's gone square to O'Shea. Furlong into midfield. Matusiwa controls with his left, passes with his right. Egley draws in the challenge of Chair. Furlong back towards Walton. Walton closed down by Coney, takes the ball in field, gives it short to Matusiwa. Town passing it around inside their penalty area. Chair closes down O'Shea, out for a goal kick.
Caused a little bit of nervous tension here in the stand.
I know how you're not a big fan of that kind of stuff.
No, that was racy.
Here we go, going to do it again. Walton short to Taylor, back inside the area to O'Shea. O'Shea goes long for Town, pumping it forward towards Hurst. Hurst with a chest down to Nunez. Philogene's open. Philogene gets the ball outside the QPR area, comes in field, hits right-footed straight at Nardi. We know he can score from that kind of range.
Yeah, and I think that was the message that Hursty was carrying when Dara O'Shea actually went down injured. After he got up, Hursty was back there talking to him, and I'm pretty sure it was about, when you play it forward, get it into my feet, because Nunez is looking for the drop down and there's lots of space for you to do it, and it did work.
Walton gives it to Kipré. Kipré drops the shoulder, tries to get away from Burrell, which he's managed to do. Taylor in the end gives it back to Walton. Walton controls it and then goes square to O'Shea. Got to be brave and calm as a goalkeeper playing in this Ipswich Town team, which he has been so far. Walton, now O'Shea, just sort of snail's pace walking out with it, eventually goes square to Furlong. 7.5 minutes for a third first half goal in this game, which is all square. Kipré finding O'Shea. It's 4th goal of the season, incidentally, for George Hurst. who of course also missed a penalty at Middlesbrough. Ball down the right hand side towards Nunez. Nunez flicks it infield, can't get away from Cook. I guess he did, but Morrison was always going to cover, so couldn't get away from the two QPR defenders. Oh, Shea, a mistake. Kone might be a chance for a second QPR goal inside the area. Shoots, saved by Walton. It's come out to an Ipswich player. That was a real mistake from the captain. And then Paul from Town at the back. Taylor tried to pick out Kipre. The ball wasn't close enough to him, and it's given QPR a corner kick.
Yeah, very loose ball from Matsuwa there, and gave them the opportunity. Fortunately, O'Shea stayed sort of on his feet and in control of the situation, and the Queen's Park Rangers player couldn't get a clear shot.
Corner kick taken short for QPR inside the Ipswich area. Chair low into the centre, deflected. One or two people shouted handball. I think it hit somebody's shin pad. It was that low. Long from Nardi. Walton will go up against the player, and he collects it over the top of Dunn, which is no mean feat, as Mick Mills was saying earlier on. And Walton's been impeded. It's a free kick, I think, to Town.
Yeah, he's putting pressure on himself by sort of complaining. He fell a little bit crazily down on the pitch, and he's sort of having to go at the referee about the challenge, but it wasn't anything really. It was okay, it's a free kick, that's all.
Crowd getting on Walton's back a little bit. Final 6 minutes of the first half. Poor kick from Walton. Esquadinha heads it forward. O'Shea will see it out behind, so Town can rebuild once more from square one. Walton underneath the Ipswich Town fans off to our left. Still just those two goals that we saw in the first 21 minutes. Hurst and then Burrell. Goal kick to Ipswich. O'Shea in front of the travelling fans. Always love a trip to London, those Ipswich Town supporters. Many of them on very early trains. This morning to the capital, as there's a foul in midfield. And that's going to be a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
I think both teams have lost their way a little bit. We had the lift of the early goal, and we sort of were enjoying ourselves a little bit. Queen's Park Rangers took a long time to recover from that, but they did, and they got the equaliser, and obviously sort of took charge for a while. Now,
good challenge by Eggerly on Esquadinha. Fans incensed. The referee said play on. Ball given away by Eggerly. Dink forward by Hayden, trying to get Burrell goal side. Esquadinha's in a lot of pain underneath us. I think he's going to be okay to carry on. Didn't look that bad a challenge, but the Brazilian whinging to the referee's assistant near side. He's hurt, but he's all right. He's up on his feet and able to go on. Julian Stefan appealing to the fourth official. Oh, missed by QPR. Hurst flicks it on. He would have to flick it on for himself, but too much boot on ball. And it's back with Nardi. Nardi drops the ball down, plays it short to Cook. Cook left-footed up towards the halfway line. In goes Furlong bravely. Cook belts it forward. Cook's not somebody, I get the impression, that wants to play football at the back. He'll go long. Burrell can't keep it in.
He's got good pace, Burrell, and that seems to be a sort of part of the makeup of their team. They loved that. Wasn't an intended ball for him, but that is where they seem to direct a lot of their attack, and it's through the middle for Burrell to get over the top. Obviously he's got the ability to do that. He's got the pace to do it.
Exactly 3 minutes of normal time to go in this first half. There'll be a little bit of time added on because of the Philogene injury. Cleared away forward off the right boot of Nardi from right to left. Davis rises, heads it off the back of Vale, then gets it off of Taylor, so Ipswich still have it. Philogene getting the better of Dunn, skipping infield, going square to Matsuwa. Matsuwa to the right-hand side for Eggerly. Eggerly with the deftest of touches finds Furlong. Eggerly once more. These two trying to build something of a partnership down this right-hand side. Eggerly with a diagonal switch. Has too much on it for Philogene. Swings out behind, goal kick to the home team.
Yeah, we've just lost our way a little bit. We've sort of we've conceded a poor goal. We've started to look a little bit nervous, a little bit shaky at the back, and mainly through the goalkeeper, and it seems to be sort of creeping right the way through the whole team now. We're sort of at the bitty stage again.
Yeah, perfect way of summing it up. We have a couple of minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. 1-1 between these two sides. That Start of the day, 9th QPR in the table, 3 points off 5th. Ipswich Town were 12th, 3 points off 6th at the start of the weekend, should I say. O'Shea with a header down to Taylor. Taylor puts the ball out to this right-hand side, but no one's there, other than eventually the left-back Esquadinha. Hadn't played anywhere other than his native Brazil until this summer. Madsen finds Hayden. Hayden's robbed by Taylor. The referee's blown up, you probably heard that. Don't think Jack Taylor did too much wrong. Hayden was just rather caught dilly-dallying on the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Morrison on the floor to the right-hand side. Dunn goes back to Morrison. Now Nardi in the D off to our right-footed from him. That's going to be a town ball through Furlong. Furlong's header finds Madsen. Madsen nods it out. Forward, Ipswich Town throw deep inside their half of the field. It's an extra ball on the park, which Furlong has to deal with. Now he's got the ball in his hands with this throw-in. About a minute away from being told as the board is in action far side, missed by Egerly on halfway. That's what the home fans enjoyed. Now with Kone into the path of Vale far side. QPR trying to take the lead for the first time in this game. Punch to the deck is Kone. Free kick wide right outside the Ipswich Town area. Chance for QPR to cause some problems in added on time at the end of this first half.
This is an unnecessary free kick from Kipri there. You know, he's got the player exactly where he wants him, facing the far stand, unable to turn round and get it into the penalty area. Just leave him with the problem.
Yeah, that was poor, careless, thoughtless defending. Free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Outside the Ipswich Town penalty area, wide right. 2 minutes of added on time to be played at the end of this first half. So we're into added on time at the end of the first half. 1-1, QPR have a free kick just behind the left back area, outside the Ipswich Town area, so it's going to be a cross from Vale. In it comes left footed from him, punched away well by Walton, controlled or miscontrolled by Chair. Esquadinha goes full on Roberto Carlos, but with nowhere near the accuracy of his fellow countryman, and the ball's into the stand.
Yeah, they've wasted the free kick, they've wasted that situation as well. Very unnecessary to take a shot from that distance. You know, he should have just started the play again, you know.
Cook's just telling him that as well. Just playing to his right-hand side, telling him just to dink it back in there. Seemed to be the gesture from Cook. Walton at the midway stage of this added on 2 minutes. We're going to see a late leading goal for either of these two sides to take down the tunnel. Up goes Madsen above the shorter Nunez. Matasiwa gets onto the ball for Ipswich. Furlong closed down by Kone, who jumped 5 divisions from the Essex Senior League to Wickham. Richard Kone, spotted when he was playing at the Homeless World Cup back in the day. It's been quite some rise for him. 25 goals and 46 starts at Wickham Wanderers. Terrific stuff. Here is Kipre along the floor to Philogene. Davis had overlapped on the far side. Back once more with Kipre on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Kipre over the top to Davis offside. It's 1-1 as Davis goes square into the area. Probably the last little bit of action of this first half will be this free kick for Queen's Park Rangers, who conceded early on but then drew level at the midway stage, and we're still there in terms of the scoreline. Nardi in no great hurry to take this free kick. There's no time for it. Mr. Allison's seen enough, and that's it for the first half, Mick Mills.
Yeah, I think that we sort of, you know, we had a really good start. It was the left back for me, the Queen's Park Rangers left back, Esquadinha, wanting to find out what Egerly was all about too early in the game. You know, that's for it should be the opposite way round. It should be for the attacking player to find out what the defender's all about. You know, not, you know, and he sort of invited him to go on the inside within seconds of the game, and Egerly said, thanks very much, I'll do that, and did well and sort of got an attack going, and then all of a sudden he's picked up another ball wide on the touchline, and the left back now has said, what are you like at going down the outside? You know, have you got any pace? And the answer was, I'm pretty good, I've got good pace, and when I get there I'm going to put a good ball in the box and my centre forward's going to head it in the back of the net. So a little bit stupid play by the left back, but we capitalised on that. That gave us the advantage. It gave us the chance to settle down. It gave us the chance to make the opening period of the game difficult for the home side. And it did. The home team were very untidy in trying to do what they were doing, what they wanted to do, and that was get a passing game going. We looked confident. We looked secure at the back. We looked as if we were going to get hold of things in the midfield. We hadn't taken control of that area at that time, but down the right, Eggerly was going to be, you know, causing problems to the left back. We had the usual pairing down the left, you know, coming into the game. So the wide areas were taking shape nicely. The back line looked secure. We just needed the midfield to come into it a little bit more. Hursty had got himself a goal, so he must have been feeling good, and it stayed that way for some time. And you could only see one way that Queen's Park Rangers wanted to play. They wanted to initially have a few short passes, but at the same time looking for the ball over the top of mainly Dara O'Shea, not so much Kipri, but O'Shea, to get the forward running Burrell into the game and into sort of dangerous areas. That obviously is something they are good at, because they've tried to do it right the way through the first half and have had a certain amount of joy with it. But it was we were 1-0 up, and at that stage obviously feeling as if we're on our way to a really good result. The problem was with the home team, and then unfortunately we allowed them to have a good attack down the left-hand side. They worked it infield, a little bit like we have with Philogene and Leif Davis doing the same thing for us. They came inside, got a shot away. The shot wasn't good enough to beat the goalkeeper, but it was good enough to make it difficult for him to make the ball stick, either in his two hands or whatever, you know, and he should have decided quickly, I can't deal with this properly, I'll just guide it past the far post rather than let it come down back into the 6-yard box for somebody to pick up the loose ball. And he decided not to usher it out for a corner. It came down into the 6-yard box, and the Queen's Park Rangers player put it in comfortably. 1-1, different game, and we then started to, from the goalkeeper through the back four, started to look edgy, and that's when QPR probably enjoyed, not by much, but enjoyed maybe the finish of the half a little bit more than we did. I think we were disappointed with the way that we're delighted with the way we took the lead, disappointed with the way that we conceded that lead and let it affect us too much. Good points. I think Eggerly's possibly having his better game. You know, he looks, I would get the ball out here as soon as possible, because I think Eggerly has the beating of the left back Esquadina. So if you see anything like that on a football pitch, just flog it to death until it starts to close up, because if that is the way forward, just take it. Don't look for anything else. Don't complicate the game. Don't try to sort of think, well, we're pretty good down the right hand side, but I wonder what we're like through the middle. Don't wonder at all. Just keep going where you're good, you know, and I don't think we've quite done that. I would do it, you know, get it out, get it furlong to Eggerly and see what progress we can make, you know. The changes with regards Nunes, I think Nunes is searched. He's desperate to try and link up with George Hurst as much as possible. That hasn't quite taken shape yet, but there's the possibility that it will. You know, we just got to get back to where we were when we took the lead, you know, fill ourselves with confidence and play as we would do if we were a really good side, because I do think that individually we're probably better. than Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, let's hope Ipswich Town show that in the second half. They'll come out of the tunnel in 10 minutes or so, drawing 1-1 here at QPR.
Leaders Coventry beaten at Wrexham last night in the Championship 3-2. Middlesbrough won't be cutting the gap as things stand. The team's second in the table ahead of kick-off today, trailing 2-0 at Watford at half-time. Millwall are 1-1 on the road at Oxford. Millwall are currently third in the table. Birmingham City lead Portsmouth 1-0 at half-time. It's Charlton 0, Swansea 0. Derby 1-up at Sheffield United. Preston 1-up at Southampton. Stoke 3, Bristol City 0. The lunchtime kickoffs ended as follows. Norwich 0, Hull 2, a sixth home defeat of the season in the Championship for Norwich. They're still without a point at Carrow Road this season. We'll hear from Liam Manning shortly. Leicester 0, Blackburn 2, also a full-time score, as was West Brom 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. In the Premier League, half-time scores as follows. Brighton 1, Leeds 0. The leaders Arsenal are 2-0 up at Burnley. Crystal Palace leading Brentford 1-0. Fulham 1 up at home to Wolves, who are down to 10 men. Manchester United lead 1-0 away at Nottingham Forest. We'll hear from Nick Garnham following one of our non-league games of note locally this afternoon in Newmarket in just a moment.
The 1,000-mile challenge for BBC Children in Need.
We're in training as we join radio stations across the country to attempt to walk 1,000 miles three-legged.
And on the way, we'll be taking in Felixstowe, Bury St Edmunds and Vauxhall Stadium.
Our team's attempting 25 miles of three-legged walking in just 2 days, happening on the 4th and 5th of November.
If you'd like to support the team's efforts, head to bbc.co.uk/walk, where you can also donate online.
The 1,000-mile challenge for BBC Children in Need.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
You are with Match Day. QPR 1, Ipswich Town 1 in our main feature. We'll be back with Brenna William McMills for the second half at Loftus Road shortly. Non-league-wise today, both Leyson and Needham Market looking to move into the playoff places in the Southern Premier League Central Division, but Leyson are trailing 1 at Bromsgrove. Needham Market currently goalless away at Hales Owen. Bury Town 1, Banbury United 1 is a half-time score at Ram Meadow. AFC Sudbury trailing Worcester City by 2-0 at the Elite Travel Stadium. In the Isthmian North Division, Felixstowe and Walter United 2 goals to the good at home to Takeley. Sam Ford on target from the penalty spot. Josh Hitter also finding the net just before half-time. Newmarket Town 6th in the table ahead of kick-off. Going well this season, not going well this afternoon though, Nick Garnham.
No, it's Newmarket Town 0, Stanway Rovers 2. And goals from George Keys and Nat Mardell have given Stanway a 2-goal advantage at the break. The jockeys had started positively, with Will Gardner sending a low free kick just wide of the far post and Josh Lee volleying over following a smart turn and cross by Louis Jenkins on the left. Stanway's George Okoye then sounded a warning when he hit the angle of the bar and far post in the 11th minute, and 3 minutes later the visitors took the lead. The Newmarket defence failed to clear Tom Maycock's free kick delivered from the right, and the ball fell nicely for Keys around 12 yards out, and he stroked home. Stanway's Alex Bolivan curled a 25-yard free kick just wide of James Young's right-hand post after Gardner had sent a dipping effort over Stanway crossbar. The Essex side made it 2-0 in the 41st minute. Nat Mardell getting free inside the box to send a low shot beyond Young and into the bottom far corner. In first half injury time, leading scorer Stan Leach headed over for the jockeys, who will need to improve in the second period if they're to get back into this match. Half-time at the Tristel Stadium, Newmarket Town 0, Stanway Rovers 2.
Thanks, Nick. Elsewhere today, Mildenhall Town trailing 1-0 at Whittam. Brantham Athletic are goalless on the road at Heybridge Swifts. Lowestoft Town's match at Concord Rangers abandoned in the first half due to an injury suffered by the Concord midfielder Callum Knowlson. So that one will have to be replayed, and we wish Callum Knowlson well in his recovery. But Lowestoft's match abandoned this afternoon. Let's go back to the Championship then. Let's hear more about a sixth consecutive defeat for Norwich City. Their seventh defeat at home in all competitions this season. I mentioned earlier they're still without a point at Carrow Road in the league this season. They lost 2-0 at home to Hull this lunchtime. This is what manager Liam Manning had to say post-match.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think you're tired of saying the same things. Ultimately, one of those, just scratching my head. Just totally scratching my head, I think, in terms of... Look, I always reflect on myself and my performance first, and have we got the lads set up right? Have we given them everything that we can? And when you look at the first half, you have to be ahead, scratching your head as to why. What can you do? But ultimately, it's when you keep it in the balance at 0-0 and you go out second half, you have to get through those periods and then make sure that you get back to doing and causing the opposition problems like we did first half. But we just shoot ourselves in the foot by giving away yet again another horrific goal.
Looking at before the start of play today, if games finished at half-time, you'd be sixth. You're performing sixth best in the league for first halves, but obviously rock bottom for second halves. Is that about fitness? Is it about tactics changing in the second half and you or the players not responding to it? What do you put it down to?
Behaviours for me. You can't go from performing at that level to how we did second half. There's bits that happened second half that I haven't seen on a football pitch at this level. When I was in League One, I haven't seen it. And again, you scratch your head because you wonder where those decisions come from and what the lads are thinking. Just a ridiculous first goal that all of a sudden then you're on the back foot. People then feel the pressure go within themselves and all the stuff that you need to do to shift that momentum and get back in the game and get back on top, whether it be belief, whether it be bravery to play forward, whether it be taking responsibility, that people then go under for me.
You hear Ben Napper taking some abuse from the crowd, yourself, that the players, it can't be nice. How much more of it can you take?
Well, keep fighting till otherwise it's the same message, and like I say, clearly there's a lot that's not right that needs to change.
What do you mean? What do you think is wrong?
Lots of things which we have to look in house and change.
You went straight down the tunnel at full time, didn't you? What was the thinking there?
Yeah, I apologise to the fans on that one. It's not good for me. I just, in terms of where things are at, not trying to antagonise people, I think in terms of that, but I'm hurting. Ultimately, I think I'm hurting. It's not the right thing to do, so I do apologise to everybody from that, but yeah.
And in terms of the protests afterwards, you've lost all your home games this season. How much sympathy do you have for the supporters?
Yeah, a huge amount. It's not been good enough.
Liam Manning, the Norwich City manager, after his side's 2-0 defeat to Hull this lunchtime, also finished Leicester 0, Blackburn 2 at the King Power Stadium. West Brom held to a goalless draw by Sheffield Wednesday. It's 1-1 in our main feature this afternoon. We're back at Loftus Road for the second half shortly.
Eggerly, good move down the right-hand side, takes on his man, gets the byline in the air. Great from him, in comes the chip, headed towards goal, and in! It's Hurst with a brilliant header low into the corner of the net. Fantastic wing play from Eggerly down the right-hand side, created it, and the perfect floated ball into the middle, which Hurst glances down into the corner of the net. And inside 1 minute 20 seconds, Ipswich Town lead at QPR. Belted forward by Hayden, but it breaks to Hurst. Square is Nunez inside the area. Nunez gets underneath it. Wasn't the pass that he wanted from Hurst. Town still on the front foot with Eggerly. Eggerly comes in field, left-footed, has a go. It's not far, it's worth it. He's on song this afternoon. QPR looking for the equaliser. After 20 minutes, Share shoots, saved by Walton, tapped in. Not good goalkeeping on first inspection. And it's Burrell who gets his fourth goal of the season, and approaching the midway point of this first half. It's even Stevens, QPR 1, Ipswich Town 1. Vale shaped across, takes on Davis, eventually gets the ball. An excellent wing play by Vale, spilled by Walton, cleared out by Furlong. Off to our left-hand side for a corner kick to QPR. He's having a tough time at the moment, Walton. Oh, Shea, a mistake. Kone might be a chance for a second QPR goal inside the area. Shoots, saved by Walton. It's come out to an Ipswich player. That was a real mistake from the captain. And then Paul from Town at the back. Taylor tried to pick out Kipway. The ball wasn't close enough to him. And it's given QPR a corner kick.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
Shiv Malik, an entrepreneur, co-developed an idea for a forest city between Newmarket and Haverhill.
Suffolk needs growth. It needs an economy that works for its people. It's not just a museum to visit, right?
I am absolutely livid. I cannot believe that somebody has the temerity to say he spent lockdown here for the peace and the quiet, to get away from it all, and he now wants to destroy the very place that he came for peace and quiet.
It's going to be called Unwanted.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Suffolk.
Your thoughts post-match, most welcome after today's main feature at Loftus Road. Usual ways to get in touch: 0800 141 2121 to speak to Mick Mills. You can text us at any point, 81333, or WhatsApp us at 08000 321 333. Starting your messages with SFK. 1-1 all square at the break. Time for the second half. Let's rejoin Mick and first Brenner Woolley.
Town have been out for probably at least a couple of minutes now. QPR literally just started to jog out of the tunnel in front of us. Town in all red, playing from right to left in this second half. They're unchanged from the team that started this 3 o'clock kickoff. QPR in their blue and white hoop shirts. Town made one change pre-kickoff. Nunez in the 10 for Smodic. So Walton is between the posts off to our right now. Back for Furlong, O'Shea, Kipre and Davis. Then it's Matusiwa with Taylor in midfield. 3 across the park from right to left. Egerly, Nunez, Philogene, Hurst the goal scorer up top. On the bench, Button, Young, Kiyuste, Johnson, McAteer, Greaves, Akpom, Humphreys and Clark. Nardi is the QPR goalkeeper. Back four of Dunn, Morrison, Cook and Esquadinha. Then it's the 2 of Hayden and Madsen. The 3 of Vale on a caution. Cher and Coney, their goal scorer up top. Burrell on the bench, Hamer and Benge, Norrington, Davis, Field, Varane, Smith, Poku, Seitu and Frey. Planned away in the second half. Sam Allison, the referee, getting things up and running again. Town go long, headed off the edge of his area by Cook. Philogene rises for Ipswich Town. And he's shoved in the back. A free kick given to Ipswich Town immediately inside the first pretty much 10 seconds of the second half, and no more than 21 yards from goal.
Never give the referee a chance to give a free kick. Just don't touch people. There's no need to do that. Now they've given a free kick. Queen's Park Rangers only, you're talking about 22 yards out. A very good angle on it. You'd think that people like to be dead centre with these, but they don't. They like the angle.
Well, Town scored inside 1 minute 20 seconds of the first half. There's only 50 seconds on the clock at the start of the second. Can they repeat the feat right now? Nunez over this free kick. 22 yards from goal, left of centre. Off to our left-hand side. Town fans are getting a good view here at Loftus Road of this free kick. Forward comes the Chilean, hits it up, and it's a brilliant goal into the far corner of the net. What a strike from Marcelino Nunez, and Ipswich Town score at the start of the first half, and now they've doubled their money by scoring right at the start of the second, and they lead QPR 2-1 with some supporters not back in their seats.
Well, crazy Queen's Park Rangers, that's from the kick-off. You don't touch people just outside the penalty area. No need to do that. Nunez gets on the ball and you think, lovely angle. He's always known to be pretty good at this, and he strikes it. It's in the back of the net, and it's a quicker goal in the second half than it was in the first half. That's saying something, because the one in the first half come in 2 minutes. So, we've really started both halves off really, really well. First half, the goal set us into a nice spell, opening the game. Let's do the same in this half. Take charge of the game.
As soon as he hit it, it was in with so much power. We were right behind it. Nardi at full stretch off to his left-hand side, couldn't get there. So Nunez with his first Ipswich Town goal has given them a 2-1 lead. Town ahead again early in a half here at Loftus Road. Let's see what transpires with still 43 minutes plus to go, but obviously the away fans all singing the Marcelino Nunez song. It's always going to be a danger from that kind of area. It's in the perfect position, cheaply given away by QPR, and they've rued that error. Here is Walton off the edge of his 6-yard area, doesn't take any chances, left-footed, goes long towards Hurst, backing into Morrison. Hurst done enough, gets it to Nunez. Here is Philogene down the left-hand side for Ipswich Town, taking on a couple of players, jinks in between them, goes down, free kick again, given away by QPR, this time in a really good crossing position for Ipswich Town, wide left.
Yeah, I think that one was expensive. I think the first one is a free kick. This one's very expensive. I think the referee might have got this one wrong, but it's a good position. And as you say, a good crossing position as well.
A fair number of fans still making their way back towards their seats. They didn't see their side concede for the second time. Davis, wide left, outside the QPR area. Can Ipswich Town get a 2-goal advantage early in this second half? Davis over this set piece. Hand in the air, forward he comes. Left-footed, looks a really good ball. A couple of Town players went towards, I think it was both centre-halves, and Kipre actually might have taken it away from O'Shea, or at least got on the captain's line of sight. It's a heck of a free kick. Taylor, Ipswich Town started the second half brightly, gives it to Egley on the far side, gets the better of Esquadinha, infield to Taylor. Taylor flicks it out to the right-hand side, and Nunez looks up, in comes his cross off the first defender, out behind, corner kick. Ipswich Town forcing matters.
Yeah, very much so. Nice corner to win. We've won a couple of free kicks, won a shooting free kick and won a crossing free kick. This is a good start to the half.
Very good start. Nunez walking away from this one. It's going to be Davis. It was an excellent free kick from him a couple of minutes ago. He's applauding the Ipswich Town supporters as he goes to take this corner, the number 3. Over in the far left corner of Loftus Road, Ipswich Town have their first corner kick of the second half. They lead QPR 2-1. Davis swings it in, headed away by the man on the near stick, Hayden, out as far as Matthew Siwa. Mistake on the ball there from Nunez. Forward come Queen's Park Rangers, 3-on-2. Chair running with the ball, edge of the Ipswich Town area, gets the D, blocked off, superb by Matthew Siwa. Nunez goes long looking for Hurst. He slips as he makes contact with the ball and puts too much on it. Nardi controls it in his D. Out to Dunn. Down the right flank, Vale waits for the ball to come to him, taking on Philogene. Philogene comes back to defend. Vale's got away from him very easily. Ball into the area. Stepping forward to clear is Kipre. Controlled by Dunn, the number 3. Gets it back from Madsen. Down the line to Vale once again. Left-footed ball in from Vale. Looks dangerous. Well done, Kipre. Is caught late by Kone. It's a free kick to Ipswich Town inside their penalty area.
Yeah, that was a good break for... that was a poor corner that time from Leif Davis. It's hit the first man. You shouldn't do that. He clears it. They get a break down the left-hand side, and I didn't like the scene. It was Matasu who was our key defender at the time, and we know he has no pace. So we look vulnerable, but the boys that were getting back at pace did a really good job to assist Matasua and see the danger away.
Walton left-footed out to the far side, nodded forward by Esquadinha towards Kieran McKenna, who's got the yellow ball in his hand on the far side. 2-1 his side lead. If you're just rejoining us after the half-time interval, Nunez with an excellent free kick has re-established Ipswich Town's lead in this game. Forward from Furlong, headed on the far side. Nodded down by Egley for Ipswich. Here is Matu Siwa to the right-hand side, and Sindre Egley coming in field, goes square to Taylor. Taylor tries to pass it forward, blocked off by Hayden. Back to Matu Siwa. Furlong down the far touchline to Nunez, closed down by Esquadinha. Out for a throw to Darnell. Furlong live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sports. 6.5 minutes gone in the second half. If you want to have your say on this match afterwards, call and chat to Graham and Mick on 0800 141 2121, or you can text 81333. Start those messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333, and again start those SFK. Or if you want to be involved in Monday's Blue Hour programme on BBC Radio Suffolk, you can email me brenner@bbc.co.uk. Kipre loses the ball to Burrell. Burrell into the area behind Kone, thankfully for the Ipswich Town centre half, because that wasn't very good. Philogene keeps the ball in near side, in the left back area outside the Town box. Philogene still has it, needs support, clears to Egley. Egley's little nod down isn't controlled by Nunez, hooked forward by Cook to the edge of the Ipswich area. O'Shea gets there ahead of Kone, who again clatters into the Ipswich Town captain's head for the second time in this game. Physical approach from Kone, referee having another word with him, but no more than that. Final warning by the looks of things. Let's go back to Graham.
Stoke 4, Bristol City 0, Middlesbrough 3 down now at Watford.
Wow, goodness gracious me. Watford at Portman Road on Tuesday night. So open this division this season, Mick, isn't it? We were talking
it's
half-time.
incredible. All the, if you had sort of had a go at naming the top 6 before the start of the season, you would have been nowhere near it.
Tidied up by Morrison, back to his goalkeeper Nardi. Hurst will close him down, cleared away by the Italian towards the centre circle, headed on by Hayden. Burrell's going to try and get away. O'Shea gets a touch, and it's passed forward. Kone with a chance for QPR, edge of the area, back come the red shirts, can't find a colleague. Matusiwa wins it, clears it away, but that was half a chance for QPR there. Maybe should have done better, Kone. Egley dicks the ball high out to the left-hand side, looking for Philogene. Good ball by Egley, nicely taken on by Philogene, but the defender Dunn comes back And it's Philogene who drags it out behind for a goal kick.
Well, he's quick done. I mean, that was a straight race with Philogene, and you've got to say that he did win it. So, you know, he's quite quick for a very tall man.
Quickest footballer you've ever seen,
yeah.
I'd probably say. Jimmy Dunn, the right back.
Ever.
Headed on by Burrell. Kone won't get away from O'Shea, who got himself in just the right position. Well done. Pings his clearance onto the chest of Eggerly. 9 minutes gone in the second half at Loftus Road. The only goal has been scored by Ipswich Town. Nunez giving them a 2-1 lead. QPR going down the far side with Esquidinha. I haven't really seen him in an attacking sense. In comes his ball. Diving header away from Kipre is a good one. QPR keeping up the pressure. Little Cruyff turn from Chair to get away from Eggerly. In comes the Moroccan's cross. Headed away well by Davis. An awkward one to deal with. And then slice clearance from Philogene. Out not very far down the pitch. QPR having to try and come from behind again in this second half. With a throw in. It's Dunn who has the ball behind his head. Crowd trying to create more of an atmosphere, encouraging the home team. Morrison in towards Cook. Cook goes back to the goalkeeper, Nardi. It's 2 wins and 11 here in the league for Queen's Park Rangers. Home form has clearly been a bit of an issue. Infield given away by Furlong. QPR have the ball in midfield with Chair. Esquidinha back to Chair. It's 8 games without an away win for Ipswich Town. That one at Bournemouth back in April. Their last one coming forward is done for Queen's Park Rangers. Outside the Ipswich area has a shot left-footed, blocked off a red shirt, nodded back into the box, flags up against the home team.
Yeah, I think that they've responded okay, Queen's Park Rangers, and I'm looking at it, it's a little bit untidy by both teams, and you just really, the one thing we don't want to do is concede to get this back level at 2-2, because I think that will make it a really hard game. You know, this is the advantage we've got now, and we've got to be on top of our game from now to the end.
Just 10 minutes gone, 11 now actually in the second half, so a long old way still to go as Walton bangs it long up towards Hurst. Hurst challenging with Morrison, ends up with Morrison on his back. Play on, says the referee. Taylor gets the ball to Furlong. Furlong via O'Shea. Goes all the way back to Walton and the D off to our right-hand side. Bit of disguise on his pass to O'Shea. O'Shea then to the far side. Furlong, the right back, infield to Nunez. Good play from Town. Nunez helps it on to Eggerly. Forward come Ipswich Town. Flying forward in red. Eggerly inside the box to the overlapping Furlong. Blocked, but it's still into the centre towards Hurst, and it's headed in! George Hurst makes it 3-1 at Loftus Road.
That's amazing. That is brilliant play coming all the way out of the Queen's Park Rangers half, and then when we got into the attacking scene, that's the best overlap I've seen Darnell Furlong make. He hasn't made many because he obviously feels that the left-hand side is more suited to the attack, and he tends to stay back for the insurance of it, but you could see him. He was going like Leif Davis goes. He was making that forward run with real pace, and it was just a question of whether he was going to be seen by Eggerly. And Eggerly, obviously players use their voices and they dictate with their voices on many occasions, and he would have been shouting, just hold, deliver. And then he delivers the short ball, cross in, is actually, for me, it's a simple cross because you've just got to stand it up over the goalkeeper, and it was an excellent goal. I mean, an excellent goal. The move was good, the cross was good, and the finish is right.
Yeah, it really was. Terrific goal from Ipswich Town, the build-up play, and Hurst at the far post, converting for a 2-goal advantage. Still have a half an hour to go. QPR knock it long, headed on by Burrell. Kone's going to try and get in behind, but Walton was out of his area, in the right place at the right time. I think there's going to be some movement on the QPR bench. Hurst with a head down, of course, looking for Ipswich Town's second hat-trick of the season. Now George Hurst, a couple of headers so far. Well won by Madsen, taking 2 Ipswich Town players out of the game for QPR. Still time for them. Kone into the middle towards Morrell. Brilliant defending. from Kipre, flying back towards his own goal line inside his 6-yard area. It could have gone terribly wrong, but that was superb from him.
Yeah, the referee had already signalled that there was a foul on the Queen's Park Rangers player outside the box. He allowed it to go on. The cross was good, and if Kipre had missed that, it would have just been a tap-in.
Yeah, for Burrell, who was behind him. Corner kick to Queen's Park Rangers, off to our right-hand side. In it swings to the Ipswich area. Oh, again missed by Walton. Thankfully, the connection from a QPR attacker sent the ball over the top. That was another wobbly little moment there, which was quite scary to watch. Walton's on all fours at the moment, but I could have easily seen that one ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, you could. You just feel that this is a game of more and more goals, really. You know, we've got a lovely, comfortable lead at the moment, and we've got to really sort of, you know, take this on board, you know, and feel good about what we're doing, and, you know, don't let them come back in the game, because they have got the potential to do it. You just don't present it to them.
Yeah, they've got some decent players on the bench as well. They could be lively and make an impact, and they're about to come on, at least a couple of them, I think. Egley again with another switch towards Philogene near side, up against Dunn. Dunn wins the header, controlled underneath us by Vale. Vale short in field to Hayden. Hayden measures his pass back to the right back, Dunn. Dunn then fires the centre half. Cook approaching the hour mark on BBC Radio Suffolk. QPR 1, Ipswich Town 3. Nunez and Hurst with the second half goals. Forward from Morrison, cut out by Davis, brought down by Hayden, gets there ahead of Philogene. Vale trying to put it around the back for Coney. Well positioned Walton, good work from him, out to the edge of his area.
But they do love that early through ball.
Yeah. Kipre, excellent work from him defensively a few moments ago. Gets the ball to Davis. Davis to Philogene. Philogene infield to Nunez. Good play again, this from Ipswich Town with promise. Nunez has Hurst in front of him. Nunez goes for goal. Saved by Nard. It was an excellent hit from the Chilean. Out as far as Philogene inside the QPR area. Tries to take it to the byline. The ball's come back off Philogene. It's a goal kick.
Great strike from Nunez. You can see him. He really knew that he should have perhaps played it out to Egley. Egley was in a wonderful position, but you also knew that he wanted a shot, and that's what he went and had. You know, just addressed the ball one more time and let loose, and that was a cracking shot.
Vale and Chair going off to be replaced by Poku. That's a big lift for Queen's Park Rangers. As I said earlier on, former Peterborough player. Was linked to some big clubs in the summer. Came here, hasn't been seen since the opening day due to injury, so he's going to come on down the right-hand side. And Saito, the Japanese international, is going to replace Chair, probably in the number 10 area. Actually, no, he's going to go across the left-hand side, sorry. Still using Kone in behind Burrell, QPR. Townley 3-1. Davis sees the ball out near side, away from Poku, who was linked actually with Ipswich Town, as many players were in the window just gone by. He's got an opportunity to stake a claim to start on the week for QPR now. 17 gone in the second half. Here is Poku, infield to Hayden, back to Poku on this right-hand side for QPR. Poku still has it, taken on Davis. Lively play from him. Tries to get his cross in. It's swung out behind for a goal kick. All the noise coming from the tractor boys and girls off to our left-hand side at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good position we found ourselves in. You know, we'd sort of, it was even Stevens at half-time. We beat the early goal in the first half by sort of having a quicker goal in the second half, and that has really sort of filled us with some confidence, and we've added to that and made it 3-1. So this is a really good position we're in.
Philogene wins the ball well to Hurst. Philogene then goes over the top of Morrison. It's a free kick outside the QPR area to Ipswich Town. The angle isn't as good as the one that they scored from right at the start of this second half, but Nunez might still fancy it.
Yeah, it's about another 3 or 4 yards further to the left-hand side, but it's still got a lovely angle. And with this type of one, you know, you can shoot, you can just dink it over the defensive line into that space between the defensive line and the goalkeeper. There's a selection here which makes it difficult for the goalkeeper, actually. He really doesn't know. The previous free kick, he knew it was going to be a shot. He wasn't good enough to save it, but he knew it was going to be a shot. With this one, he doesn't know.
Nunez over this free kick has already scored spectacularly from 1 in this second half. Town with a chance to go 4-1 ahead at Loftus Road from about 23 yards from goal, left of centre. The Chilean fancies it. He's also got players in the box that he could aim for. What's he going to do? Leif Davis is also there as well. Nunez comes forward, goes towards goal and scores! Another brilliant free kick from Marcelino Nunez. Terrific in the different corner. The last one went off to the goalkeeper's left. This foxed him off to his right-hand side. He didn't read it at all. And Ipswich Town now lead 4-1 at QPR.
Yeah, the wall needs shooting because they didn't do the job. It's pretty much gone straight through there. Just clipped one of the players in the wall just to deceive the keeper even more. But the main thing was he's hit it with power. And therefore, if it does squeeze its way through, it's got a chance to go in. I wouldn't say it was his best strike from a free kick, but it was a very effective one, and it's put us into a wonderful position.
And Nunez and Hurst both with 2 goals in this game. He's made the most of his opportunity in the number 10, Nunez, from those 2 set pieces. And Ipswich Town surely heading towards their first away win of the season with a 4-1 lead after 20 minutes of this second half. QPR, remember, who lost 7-1 to Coventry earlier on this season. Egerle trying to be a bit too clever there, has lost the ball. QPR have it with Hayden. Hayden pokes it back to the halfway line to Dunn. The reaction to this game from Kieran McKenna. And an Ipswich Town player post-match. I imagine George Hurst the favourite to do post-match stuff at the minute. As down far side goes Seitu. And this is just rubbing salt in Norwich City fans' open wound. Guests, bearing in mind what happened to them at lunchtime, losing 2-0 at home to Hull City. 6 defeats in a row for the Canaries, and now their former heroes opened his Ipswich Town account in quite some style as Davis heads the ball to Philogene. Philogene then closed down by Poku, 2 like-minded wide players. Taylor there goes back towards Walton, goes down by Burrell. Walton out to O'Shea. Town just not going to do anything stupid, not give QPR a whiff of a comeback. O'Shea down the line to Egerle. Town will continue to come forward. Infield from Egerle to Hurst, out to the left-hand side. Davis again, good forward, progressive play from Ipswich Town. Davis into the area. In comes his cross. Hurst went towards it, cleared away. Chested down by Kone. Hurst will be absolutely desperate to get at least one more chance of his hat-trick here this afternoon. Well, he won't be replaced by Ivan Athon, that's for certain.
We look as if we're enjoying it, and that's what we should do. You know, this is a great sort of commanding lead that we've got, you know, and just go and enjoy it, you know. Do the right things defensively, but when you can go forward and just put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's been shades of a couple of seasons ago when Ipswich Town have been pouring forward in this game. Kipre back towards Walton. All you'll hear in the background are those Town fans enjoying their latest trip to West London. Matusiwa measures a pass to Nunez, gives it to Egerle. Egerle comes in, Phil finds Matusiwa. There is Furlong. Town back in action on Tuesday night, home to Watford. Lovely play from Town down the right-hand side. Just too much on that from Furlong for Egerle. It's going to be out for a goal kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Here comes another change for the home side. And it is Michael Frey, the Swiss striker, who's coming on for Richard Kone. Did all right last season, his debut season in English football. Frey, 9 goals and 31 appearances. Leif Davis just down underneath us at the moment. It'll be a tactical break as the Ipswich Town physios come on, double-handed, to check on him. When play resumes, it's going to be Nardi with this goal kick. How do you assess things at the moment then, Mick Mills?
Well, it's, you know, we've had that sort of advantage right through the game where we've got off to a really blinding start. First half, 2 and a bit minutes to take the lead. That sort of held us in good stead. for a while, and then we sort of lost our way a little bit and gave them a chance to come back into the game. This half we started off even quicker. We've got a goal with inside 2 minutes, and we haven't really sort of looked like, just a couple of crosses, dangerous crosses have gone in our box, but generally speaking we've looked as if, you know, that's made us feel good about it, being in the lead, and we've taken advantage of it. And we've sort of created ourselves chances by sort of winning corner kicks, free kicks, crossing free kicks, shooting free kicks. We've got ourselves into this lovely 4-1 lead, and there just doesn't look any chance to me that they could possibly get a goal back, Queen's Park Rangers, but we could quite easily add to our total. So, this has become a very open game, and we're very much in charge of the game. We really are.
There are no excuses with a 3-goal lead as we approach the 70-minute mark at this level. This is a game that would be a real body blow if Ipswich Town took anything other than a victory from. We've all got to be very confident. Today is going to be the day as Nardi lines up this goal kick. Davis still off the pitch underneath us at the moment, but ready to be reintroduced as Nardi clouts it over the halfway line. Flick on header by Hayden, then knocked up in the air by Madsen. Burrell, who made it 1-1 in the first half, gets it to Frey. Frey flicks it into the box, but Kipper is there. Good work again from the Ipswich Town centre half, cushioning his little header back to Walton. There's movement on the Ipswich Town bench. Looks like it could be Ashley Young or Ben Johnson. I guess Kieran McKenna will have Tuesday night in mind if he is to take off Leif Davis now. Hurst with a little nod down. Nunez, also like Hurst on a hat-trick. Well won by Ipswich. Furlong to Eggerly. Nunez is running through the middle. He's 10 yards in front of Hurst. Nothing comes of it. Eggerly is robbed. QPR go long. Walton's out of his area. Uses his chest well. Good work from him. Then slips a pass to Furlong. Matthew Siwa loops one forward for Hurst to chase. Cook is there. Hurst might have a chance. It was against Morrison, who's gone down in a tangle of legs. Hurst stayed down, doesn't look anything too worrying. Maybe cramp, if anything, for Hurst. And Nunez is just going to try and stretch that out. Yeah, here comes the first change of the afternoon for Ipswich Town. We can go back to Graham at 4-1 Ipswich.
Millwall back in front at Oxford 2-1. Stoke 5, Bristol City 0. Divin Mubama hat-trick in that one. Carlton Morris has a hat-trick as well for Derby at Sheffield United. The Rams leading 3-0.
Well, hat-tricks left, right and centre. Kiefer Moore starting the ball rolling against Coventry last night for Wrexham. Wonderful to see one here this afternoon. Fingers crossed. It would be very nice. Hurst still getting some treatment at the moment. He's one of the 2 potential candidates for the match ball. It looks like it's Johnson and maybe McAteer who spoke excellently when Graham chatted to him on Thursday. Played that interview earlier on their match day. Eggerly is going off to be replaced by McAteer. Played a part in 2 of Ipswich Town's goals for sure, the Norwegian. Had a good afternoon. He applauds the Ipswich Town away fans. And let's see what the other change is going to be for Ipswich Town. No hat-trick for Hurst. He seems to be going off as well. For the moment, Davis is being replaced by Johnson. Let's see what the other alteration's going to be then for Hurst. There's no obvious change on the bench, but he did seem to turn and applaud the away fans. And just waiting to see who the other player is coming on for Ipswich Town. Akpom. So yeah, Johnson's going to left back. Akpom has come on up top for George Hurst with his gloves on, Tuba. Good to see that he's fit and okay. Of course, like Smodix, he went off last week against West Brom, but Kieran said there was a chance he'd feature. So it's Nunez playing off of Akpom for the time being, at least. At least I think if Town get a penalty now, we know who'd be desperately wanting to take it, and probably would as well, with a 3-goal cushion. Up goes Kipper at the back and heads it to halfway. Nodded down and out by Madsen, far side. Haven't been much of an attacking force in this second half QPR with 17 minutes of it to go. Through to Darnell Furlong. Making a run as McAteer. Ball doesn't reach Madsen to Sato. Frey trying to get involved as well, the Swiss striker. It's going to play for another throw into Queen's Park Rangers. Very quiet.
Yeah, very
Loftus
quiet.
Road at the
I mean,
moment.
they threatened a couple of times when it was 2-1, but since it's been 3-1 and 4-1, they really have done nothing at all.
2 quality free kicks from Nunez and a fine goal that was finished, or a fine move which was finished off by Hurst. That's the 3 goals that we've seen in the second half. Poku gets the better of Johnson, gives it forward to Sato. Sato inside the Ipswich Town area, saved by Walton. Terrific save as well. Big right hand off to his right hand side. That was very good from the Ipswich Town keeper.
Yeah, it was a good shot, but a terrific save.
Furlong infield to Matu Siwa. That was a rare insertion into the Ipswich Town area from QPR. They were in charge of that there. Sato, one of many Japanese players playing in the championship at the moment. Back to Nardi in the D. Nardi hits it up towards Dunn on the near side. Dunn heads it on towards Burrell. Burrell's little nod down finds Poku up against fellow sub Johnson. Philogene goes to ground, gives the ball to Hayden. Now it's with Sato again, holds off Matu Siwa. Sato dinks it into the area, good play from him. Here is Poku, low into the centre. Sato hits it, but slices it high into the upper tier, off to our right hand side. But he's looking lively, the Japanese.
Yeah, we just defended well in numbers there. It needed numbers around Kipri, and we got the numbers there, and we've blocked the first one. The second one's just been sort of hit badly and gone into the top tier.
Goal kick off the deck for Ipswich Town as Shea rolls it to Walton. Walton goes long. Akpom against Morrison. Morrison heads it to the halfway line. Glanced on by Cook, only as far as Matu Siwa. He gives it to McAteer and gets it back. Furlong on the far side wants the ball. Nunez back towards Furlong. Now it's with Kipre. Johnson. Chance a little audition for him at left back in the remainder of this game. Kipre all the way back to Walton. Town 4-1 ahead, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Matu Siwa under pressure from Madsen, gets the ball out to the right hand side, and O'Shea at right back. He lumps it up towards Akpom. Akpom's chest trap's good for Johnson in the centre of the field. Nunez tries to find Taylor. Deflects off a QPR player. Taylor does keep it in near side. But the QPR player down with a head injury in the centre circle. So referee obviously has blown up about. Those numbers again. I have a chat to Mick Mills and Graham afterwards on 0800 141 2121, or you can text 81333. Stop those messages. SFK WhatsApps to 08000 321 333. Again, also start those SFK, or email me. Head of Monday night's Blue Hour show on BBC Radio Suffolk every Monday night between 6 and 7. Brenner, BRENNER at bbc.co.uk. And then the following night we've got full match commentary of Ipswich Town versus Watford. Town trying to win for the 5th time in 6 home games, and try and get a 3rd successive win, of course, the way things are looking here this afternoon. It's Hayden who's taken a knock. It's gone off on the far side, but he'll be alright. Town have the ball, or will have the ball with Walton when play resumes. A fair number of QPR fans just down below us have seen enough with 13 to go. Change for QPR. Off goes Cook to be replaced by Mbenge at centre-half. Mbenge has been starting games alongside Cook. I think QPR are going to make another change as well by the looks of things. Could be the midfielder Jonathan Varane, who could be coming on as play resumes at the back with Cedric Kipre of Ipswich Town. It's been an enjoyable afternoon for those Town fans so far. Johnson on the halfway line eventually gets the ball under control and goes backwards to Walton. Walton to Kipre. Now it's with Jack Taylor. Town just keeping a hold of the ball. Very little happening in the game at the moment with exactly 12 minutes to go. Matusiwa turns onto the centre spot and O'Shea to the far side. Furlong wants it, so to McAteer, hugging that far touchline. Jack Taylor showing in midfield, making a run through the middle is Philogene. Taylor decides not to go for it, didn't spot the run. Chuba Akpom just on as a substitute, off to the left-hand side. He gives the ball to Johnson. Reverse pass down the line to Philogene outside the QPR area. Johnson crosses towards the far post. It swings out behind before McAteer or Akpom could intervene.
Yeah, it's comfortable, and that's all we've really got to do. No need to play fast flowing football. Just keep the ball, pass it around, and when the time is right, cross it into the box or have a shot at goals. You know, this has really become really comfortable.
Yeah, it has. Headed on by Dunn. Burrell's after it, headed away by Kipre, who's done well. Kipre, very well. Taylor gives it back to Johnson. Didn't look anything other than maybe tiredness, cramp for Leif Davis, as Walton gives it out. The clearance is made by O'Shea. QPR win it, but not for long. In goes Matusiwa, went to ground well. Lost the ball though, and he brings down his man Hayden. It's a free kick to QPR within range.
Yes, it's an opportunity. It's dead centre. It's probably sort of about 25, 26 yards out. He was a bit crafty to win that. Matusiwa made a little bit of an error, but the player just literally jumped between player and ball just to make Matusiwa hit him. He had no intention of going for the ball, the Queen's Park Rangers player, but he just managed to con the referee, and he's got his team a free kick in a fairly dangerous position.
Well, we've seen 2 free kick goals from the boot of Marcelino Nunez in this second half. What can Nicholas Madsen or Koki Seitu do for QPR? Well, it's now or never for QPR. You've got to score from this free kick to stand any chance of getting anything from this game in the final 10 minutes at Loftus Road. It's going to be Madsen who hits it. Seitu might touch it short to him, just to bring it back to 4-2. Madsen strikes, gets right underneath it, and it's into the crowd.
Yeah, good closing down, I must admit. You know, I think it was possibly Matusiwa, I'm not sure, but he was sort of hell-bent on getting close to the ball as soon as it was rolled to one side, and he did that, and he made the player that was taking the shot to hurry it and rush it, and consequently doing that, he's going to be miles off target.
Akpom challenged by Morrison. Madsen gives the ball to Poku, puts it through the legs of the referee. Seitu running forward. It's been very bright since he came on. He gives it out to the left-hand side for QPR. They're now passing it with Mbenge to Morrison. Now Dunn on the halfway line. QPR have the ball. No threat to Ipswich Town's goal whatsoever. There are 8.5 minutes still to play. Poor from Mbenge, well done Nunez. Nunez though then gives it away. Ipswich Town have it with Matusiwa. Finds Kipre. Now Taylor. Ipswich Town is happy to find red shirts when they get the ball at the moment. Akpom wants it from back to front. Kipre doesn't see that. Gives it short to Taylor instead. Then the big centre-half gets it back. Kipre finds Matusiwa. Taylor trying to find McAteer. It's intercepted. QPR get it. And Mbenge came on a free from Reading in the summer. He's done well so far. And Mbenge played against Ipswich Town in the Carabao Cup a couple of years ago. And Town had that penalty shootout win at the Medeski Stadium. Furlong down the far touchline to McAteer. McAteer tangling over that far side with Norrington Davis, who's come on for Escudinha. Town about to make another couple of changes. Clark and Young could be about to come on by the looks of things. Yeah, it is. Just see the number 15 on Ashley Young's back. Kipre to Johnson. Johnson up towards Akpom. It's a good ball. Akpom in the centre circle. Gives it to Nunez. McAteer wants it far side. He's got it. Flags up against him. He should never have been offside. It's a really good chance for Ipswich Town to go on and score a 5th goal there.
Yeah, he should have held his ground there. You know, he had acres of space to sort of run into. The pass was always going to be coming in his direction because we had complete control of it, but he's gone too early, and I knew the flag was going to come up as soon as he sort of made the run, as soon as the ball was delivered.
Philogene and Nunez are going off to be replaced by Young and Clark. Let's see where Young's going to go. I think he's going to left back, and Johnson's going further forward where Philogene has been playing. And then Clark, is he just going to play in behind Akpom? It does look like that. So he's been amongst the goals. Jack Clark scored some important goals as well. 5 in his last 8 appearances, mostly from the bench for Ipswich Town. As Mbenge for QPR tries to get away from Clark. Clark closing him down. The ball's out to Dunn. Dunn shielding it away from Johnson. Dunn goes back to his goalkeeper, who hits it high towards halfway. Nardi. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come after full time. Well, there's also an Ipswich Town player. Handball by McAteer. He's in on goal now, but he's never going to get a chance to have a legal shot on goal.
Yeah, risky defender to do what he did, but it was handball. But you know, just to sort of try and lift the ball over a forward in that area was a bit risky.
Into the final 6 minutes of the 90. The wait for that first away win of the season is over. I just think Town could get another one at Swansea in a week's time. Knocked forward by Nardi. Start the build up to that on the matchday preview on Friday night on BBC Radio Suffolk between 6 and 7 o'clock. Ball's out on the far side for a throw. Julien Stéphan is quite animated, the QPR manager. Furlong playing the full 90 minutes on his return to Loftus Road, getting ready to take this throw for Ipswich Town. It's been a happy return as well. Town have it with Matu Siwa, because Matu Siwa and Taylor look like they're going to play the full game. Taylor gives it back to Walton. Walton slips it out to Matu Siwa. Out to the far side, he gives it to Furlong. Furlong infield to Taylor. Tanner got up to the halfway line, outnumbering QPR. Good strong run from Taylor. Puts it behind Johnson, which allows the blue and white hoops to get back. Here is Ashley Young. Kipre to O'Shea. O'Shea out to the far side, fires it to the feet of McAteer. Coming in field, tries to put it around the back for Akpom. Akpom inside the QPR area. Can't shoot at the moment, gives it back to McAteer. It's a really good hit from him. Saved by Nardi. Oh, he's gone down injured, McAteer. Immediately, this non-contact, he looks to have pulled something and he's in a lot of pain. Casey McAteer up on his feet, but he's limping. Hopefully that's not as bad as it first looked. He's all right now. Wow, that was a little worry. Good effort. Furlong finds Clark. Clark on the halfway line, still has it. Impeded, but gets it back to Furlong. Free kick. 3.5 to go.
I don't know what he could have done there. You know, maybe he's hit the ball and it's sort of caught his ankle bone as opposed to being hit with the foot. I don't know.
Looks to be okay now. Taylor goes back towards O'Shea. Matu Siwa. Town have it inside their half of the field. Yeah, we're chanting Chuba Akpom's name now. Taylor to O'Shea. O'Shea fires it up towards Clark. Clark controls it. Gives it to Furlong on the far side of the field. They'll be leaving early from the away end. Kipre gives it away straight to Morrison. Here is Madsen. Madsen over the top, looking for on a Poku. Brought down by Ashley Young. Young infield to Walton. Walton clears it away, not very far. Doesn't even reach the edge of his area. Kipre has made a mess of that one. Gets his feet in a tangle, but he was being fouled by Burrell. That was very scruffy from Ipswich Town, Walton and Kipre.
Yeah, it was untidy. Nearly caused a problem there.
So Matu Siwa just ties up his bootlace. Lots of people departing underneath us. Out come the stewards with 87.5 minutes played. Referee telling Christian Walton to hurry up. QPR 1, Ipswich Town 4 2 goals for Hurst, 2 goals for Nunez. Walton then, left-footed, kicks off the edge of his penalty area. Up goes Akpom, heads it square. Touched away by Norrington Davis. Chested down by Furlong. Furlong under pressure from Sato. Ends up off the field. He's hit his head, Darnell Furlong. Very enclosed pitch this. Very little room between the outside of the pitch and the barriers.
A lot of people have gone now. It's really, if you're a home supporter, this is a very uninteresting period of any game.
Yeah, so little to talk about for a while now. Walton, we've known where the points were going for, well, at least 10-15 minutes, if not more. Furlong slides along the deck on his belly. Still got another minute before we're told how much added on time there's going to be. Hopefully not too many. Clark caught late, but he plays it over the top for McAteer. Referee wants a word with him, Benge.
It's a bit naughty.
Yeah. That's the second booking of the afternoon. This will be 3 games in a row as things stand, without an Ipswich Town player being booked. Free kick to Ipswich. Let's hope Tuesday night against Watford is as convincing. They'll certainly be coming into that game and find Fettle. Excellent win for Watford over Middlesbrough this afternoon. Young to Johnson. Johnson in field to Akpom. Akpom tries to return the ball to Johnson. It's Mbenge who has it and gives it into midfield to Madsen. Madsen up to Poku. Up against Young. Poku still has the ball. Overlapping on the outside is Hayden. Hayden puts the ball into the Ipswich area. Missed by Kipre. In behind, and Burrell couldn't do anything with it. Out for a kick off the floor to Walton.
Yeah, it came to
7 minutes of added on time. Not quite sure where on earth that's come from. It's a bit of a shame, really. A bit bored with this one. There's just nothing happened. It was without being won.
I was thinking that as well.
I know, right. There is 7 minutes still to go.
There's nothing can happen in this 7 minutes that will make this any more interesting, really, because we were just keeping the ball. We're content to see the timeout, and they are completely and utterly disillusioned.
Ashley Young side foots the ball back to Walton. Walton belts it downfield. His error in that first half that allowed QPR to score hasn't counted for anything, thankfully. On the far side, Norrington Davis gets the better of McAteer. Powerful header forward by Furlong. Likewise from Mbenge. There is Dara O'Shea doing the same. Clark for Ipswich Town. It'd be lovely to see them score a 5th goal in this added on time. That will brighten it up somewhat as Walton passes it out to his left back. 3rd different left back he's had in this game. Ashley Young, the latest one. Young in field to Matthew Siwa. Gives it back to Walton. Walton slips it past to Furlong. Seen a lot of the ball at his feet today, Walton. Here is Chuba Akpom. Numerous keepy-uppy touches. Gives it back to Kipre. I wonder how many of these players out there will start on Tuesday night. Possibly a fair number. Walton certainly will. Will we see Young, Clark, Johnson, Akpom, as Matasiwa gives the ball to O'Shea? He'll be there. Furlong. His attempted pass blocked off by Sato. And with 5 minutes of the added on time to go, Ipswich Town have a throw in on the far side. 0800 141 2121 is the phone number to chat to Mick and Graham while I go and find Kieran McKenna at far side. Going to speak to him by the edge of the tunnel here at Loftus Road. Matasiwa to Taylor. Taylor to Young. Johnson has the ball now for Ipswich Town. There's Cedric Kipre. Back-to-back wins for only the 2nd time this season for Ipswich Town. This will be Matasiwa caught late. Free kick for that challenge on him by Hayden.
Yeah, I think it was a bit late, but we were sort of guilty of just being sort of a little bit sort of easy-osy there. But that's, you know, where the game is at. You know, we're 4-1 up. You know, Queen's Park Rangers are not going to really come back into it, so we're just literally keeping the ball in very negative areas now.
3 minutes of the added-on 7 played. Kipre picks up Matthew Siwa. Yellow card eventually. It took a while for Hayden for the initial challenge. Ashley Young just pulls up his socks. Good win this for Ipswich Town. Fairly straightforward as well. It's been comfortable in this second half. Young, lovely ball into the box just away from Akpom. It's unlucky. The idea was right. Execution wasn't a million miles away either from Ashley Young. Here at the back is Morrison. The referee's unhappy with the initial kick from Nardi, the goalkeeper, I think. Poku gives it back to his number 1.
I think it was a moving ball, wasn't it?
Could have been. Still QPR 1, Ipswich Town 4. 2 for Hurst, 2 for Nunez. Both free kicks from Nunez, both headers from Hurst. Hopefully Hurst is okay. Went off after he pulled up, but it didn't look to be anything more than cramp. And his body language seemed to be fairly positive as he was applauding the Ipswich Town supporters. Didn't look too crestfallen. Over the top towards Burrell, edge of the Ipswich area. Can't do anything with it. Young sees it out off a QPR player. It's a throw to Ipswich Town. Yeah, Town at home to Watford on Tuesday night, away to Swansea in a week's time. Then after the international break, more Welsh opposition. This time Nathan Broadhead and Kiefer Moore come to Portman Road when Wrexham visit, and then Town have that run of 3 away games in 8 days. Hull, Oxford and the Blackburn return. November bridging into December. Town fans enjoying themselves in fine voice. It's his first away win since April. Clark up over the centre circle to McAteer. McAteer controls it. Norrington Davis tries to get onto it. McAteer keeps on the ball. McAteer over the top looking for Johnson. Headed away by Dunn. Still 2 minutes of the added-on 7 to go. Young for Ipswich. Down the left to Akpom. Downfield to Taylor. Still showing himself. Taylor to Johnson, edge of the area. Gives it to Furlong. On the far side, it's Casey McAteer, drops a shoulder, in comes his cross, it's a good one. Oh, how did Chuba Akpom not get onto that one? Just didn't read the ball in, which he should have done. Should have had a chance for his first Ipswich Town goal.
Well, they do say you should always believe. I know the defender was in a good position. You've got to believe that he's going to miss it. And he did miss it, and if he had been ready for it, he would have scored. There's no question about that. He was in a good position, but it was a mistake by the Queen's Park Rangers defender, but you've got to believe that's going to happen. Johnson keeps the ball in, gives it to Matthew Siwa on the halfway line. Now Kipre. Final minute of the added-on 7. Boucher. Relatively few QPR fans in the ground now. Matthew Siwa. Tired ball from him, straight to Poku. Can QPR get the last goal of the game for all that matters? Poku gives it to Sato, fellow sub inside the Ipswich Town area. And into the middle it comes, not quite, it's out behind directly from him. Goal kick to Walton. Come on, referee, that'll do us. That's all we need. We want to go and get the train.
We're not bothered about this final 30 seconds. Walton has it. Getting ready to take this, quite possibly his final goal kick of the afternoon, possibly the final bit of action of the afternoon. Referee looks at his watch. It's Walton with this left footer, and it's a case of job well done for Ipswich Town in West London. They finally got their first away win of the season at the 5th attempt, and a comfortable one at that in the end. QPR 1, Ipswich Town 4, 2 goals for Hurst and 2 goals for Nunez, his first for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, it's been a good day, it really has. We've, the goals came at the right time without question in both halves, really. We've scored in the first half within about 2.5 minutes, and that sort of gave us the confidence to say, well, we've got a good chance to get ourselves a result here. We responded nicely to the opening goal. for about 15 minutes, and then Queen's Park Rangers actually sort of came into it a little bit, and a little mistake by the goalkeeper gave them the chance to get back on level terms, and then first half probably even Steven, and you just saw one or two good things about Queen's Park Rangers, that they can penetrate a defence through the centre very, very well. They're very pacey up the front end and are very dangerous just by going directly through the middle, but we sort of got in at half time, we've come out and we started the second half better than we started the first half, and we've got ourselves a goal within sort of a minute and a bit of the sort of second half, and that was really, we only needed a second opportunity to do it, and we took it really well, and in the end, we had a lovely sort of spell which took us from 2-1 in front to 3-1 to 4-1, and apart from when it was 2-1 2 or 3 times when Queen's Park Rangers got a couple of nice crosses into our box and threatened us a little bit, once it went to 3 and then to 4, it was game over. The heart was taken out of the Queen's Park Rangers team, and the confidence flooded back into our team. So, it was basically being given the chance to score 2 early goals in both halves, set us on the way. The good thing, I think, from the day is that we've got goals from the areas that we want goals from. We want goals from our number 9, we want goals from our number 10, and they've shared 4 goals today, so that is good in itself, that we're not relying on back 4 players, we're not relying on a wide left player, we've got the goals from the part of the team that we really do need to get goals from. If you're talking, if you like, at the end of the season, from those 2 positions alone, I'm not talking about from 2 individual players, but from those 2 positions, you've got to be getting in the region of 25-30 goals. So we're way off that sort of target at the moment, but that is where you need to be, if you're going to have any sort of success. Hursley now is going well, he's sort of scoring enough goals for people to sort of say, well, he's been quite successful, give him a chance. But now we've actually produced a number 10 who's scored a couple of goals, so that's good, and it really augurs very well. So, we've now crept, we were 7 home games to 4 away games, it's now 7-5, and we've got our first 3 points of the season away from home. That's good. So lots of good things from today. As you can expect, everybody sort of eased into it and sort of produced a pretty good game, but I think from the when it mattered, I think Eggerly really deserves a mention, because he got his game going right from the off and was a threat down the right hand side, and actually the left back Equidina, he really sort of he was overconfident. He thought he could just say to Eggerly, go on, try and take me on. And Eggerly said, OK, I'll do that. First one, I'll go on the inside. Second one, I'll go down the outside. And we're 1-0 in front from that alone, and all the way through, he showed lots of confidence. His control was good. His movement of the ball was good. His runs were good. And his link-up play was good. So he's had a particularly good day. He's sort of started really well. Nice to see Darnell Furlong make an overlapping run. We haven't seen too much of that in the team this season. He's tended to sit back. Whether he's under orders to do that, I don't know, because we know that Leaf on the other side will go, he'll attack and attack and attack, so maybe he's been told to be a little bit more cautious. I don't know, but he did set off on a terrific overlapping run and helped to create her second goal, so well done to him as well.
Yeah, well done to Ipswich Town. They have beaten Queen's Park Rangers by 4 goals to 1. Kieran McKenna and a player on the way.